Everyone, Cody from Mac Telecom Networks. We did an initial video of setting up the Grandstream 6301. In this video, we're going to add 2 phone extensions as well as a VoIP SIP trunk. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the bell icon. If you'd like to hire me for network consulting, visit www.mactelecomnetworks.com. You can find me on Instagram at Mac Telecom Networks, and if you want to support the channel, we do have memberships now available, which you could join under this video. So first, let's take a look at our extensions. If we go over to the left pane, we could see extension and trunks. We could click on extensions, and we could see that there's 5 extensions created, 1000 to 1004. And this was created during our initial setup, and I'll put the video link down below. If you need more than the 5 extensions, you could create more by clicking on the add button. And within the new extension creation, there are a ton of options which we're not going to go through in this video, but it will just keep counting up the extension number, and you could change this as your privilege level, as well as your voicemail passwords, and so on and so forth. What we're going to focus on is getting 2 phones up and running, inbound and outbound basic routes working, as well as our SIP trunk. So what we need to do to get these 2 phones up, we'll go to our 0 config. If we go look on the left hand side, we can see value added feature, and then we can see 0 config. I have 2 phones plugged into my Ubiquiti switch on my voice VLAN, and we could see them right here. 192.168.140.232 and 140.936. And this phone I already did have configured in this phone system before. It does show the model number as a GXP2135. And the top model phone number is a GRP2613, and it's currently not in the system. If we click edit on this phone and we try to select that model, I'll type in GRP2613, we can see that it's not found. So we'll go back to our 0 config, and then we'll go to model update. And under model update, we could see there's a bunch of models we could download. There's about 7 pages. I'm going to change the page to have 40 on it, and then we'll just do a find for the GRP2613. We could see that it's been found, and I'll click the download button. Now clicking back on our extensions, I could go to edit this phone again, and then we could look up for the 2613. And now it's showing under the model. We could see that it's grabbed the MAC address, and it's already given it the IP address. Now we have a couple different things that we could do. We have our account, so we have our hot desking, we have account 1, 2, and 3. We have a bunch of VMKs, and then we have some programmable soft keys. I'll just put extension numbers on these phones for now. We'll have this phone take extension 1000, and then I'll save. Now on the phone, it's not showing the extension 1000. What we need to do, we need to update the phone. We could click this little cloud update and then press OK. And that will send a notify out to the phone, and it will grab that extension. Now we need to give this other phone an extension. So I'll click on the edit. We'll click on account 1, and we'll give this extension 101 and press save. And then we'll do that same update and press OK. Now both of these phones have been assigned extensions. We could go back up to the extensions and trunks and click on extensions, and we could see both of them are available and they're idle. I have extension 1000 in my hand, and we'll dial extension 1001. And under the status, you'll see 1 ringing and 1 in use. So I'll type 1001, and then we'll press dial. And we could see that it's ringing, in use, and ringing for extension 1001. Now we have extension to extension calling set up. We need to set up our VoIP SIP trunk. And the VoIP SIP provider I'm using is VOIP.MS. I already have an account with them as well as a DID, so I have my phone number set up, but there are a few things we need to do to get this VoIP SIP trunk configured. Going back to my UCM, we need to click on extensions and trunks. From trunks, we could go to the VoIP trunks, and then add SIP trunk. Under type of trunk, this will differ between your SIP trunk providers. Mine is going to be a registered SIP trunk. And then you need to put in your provider name. This could be anything. Grandstream does have a few providers in here, but I'll just call mine VOIP.MS. And under hostname, this is going to be the IP address or hostname of the VoIP provider server. So if we go back to VOIP.MS, the POP that I am using is Toronto 7. The hostname will be toronto7.voip.ms. So I'll just copy and paste that. And then we'll paste that under the host name in our Grandstream system. For the caller ID, I'm going to put in the phone number that I'm using for my VOIP.MS trunk. And that phone number starts with 647. I need to blur some of this stuff out for obvious reasons. Next, we need to put in a username and a password. If we go back to the VOIP.MS main page, we can see that we have a main username. Mine is starting with 314. Under the username, we'll put the main account, and then we need to put in a password that we specified within our VoIP.MS or whichever provider you are using. After that, we just need to press save. We could leave the rest at default. Now saving the configuration of our VoIP trunk, we can see on the main dashboard we have trunks, VoIP.MS, and it's currently available. There's one more thing in the VoIP trunk that we need to specify. So we'll click back on edit, and then we need to put in this from user. So this from user will be the same as your username account. We just need to copy and paste that into the from user, and then press save, and then apply changes at the top. Another thing, if you're using VoIP.MS, to make sure that your phone calls work, we need to go to our main account settings. Under our main account settings, we need to go to inbound settings. We need to have the protocol for inbound DIDs set to SIP. Under device type, we need to have it set to IP PBX server asterisk or soft switch. Now let's set some outbound routes. So if we go over to extensions and trunks, we could see that we have outbound routes. We're just going to create some very basic routes for now, but we will get more complex in the future. And we're also not going to worry about dialing emergency services in this video, but you will need to specify that so people can make emergency calls. So to make the outbound route, we're going to click on add. We need to give this rule a name. I'll call it outbound. And now we need to do the call pattern. If we hover over the asterisk, it tells us this whole big spiel of how we could do different call patterns. What we're going to use is the letter X. That means we could use any digit from 0 to 9. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 10-digit dialing as well as 11-digit dialing. So I'll count out 10 X's, and then I'll press enter, and then we'll put in 11 X's. So now this will allow us to do 10-digit and 11-digit dialing. Now on the bottom, we need to specify our trunk. So we have our main trunk, and I'll click the drop-down menu, and we could see that we have our SIP trunk, VOIP.MS. We could also configure failover if we have a secondary trunk. Now we have to set our privilege level, and the phones need to be at the same privilege level or higher to make outbound calls. I'm going to set the privilege level to local in this video, but we will go over the different levels as it's a little bit confusing. And then I'll press save. Now we need to go back to our extensions and make sure they have at least the local privilege. So I'll click on extensions. I'll edit one of the phones. And we could see that it has international, which is higher than the local. So it will be able to call outbound. Now we have the outbound call route created. I could call my cell phone and it should ring. I'm going to dial my cell phone number from extension 1000. And we could hear that my iPhone is ringing, so our outbound call route is working. Now we need to create an inbound call route so that people could call us. So we'll go to extensions and trunks, and then we'll go to inbound routes. I'll add an inbound route. Our trunk is going to be the only trunk we have created, which is the VoIP.MS trunk, and we need to put in a call pattern. For this call pattern, I'm just going to put in the DID that I bought through VoIP.MS. So the pattern is my phone number that starts with 647. And we're going to have the default destination going to extension 1000. And you could choose a bunch of different ways to do this. You could do by DID, by extension, multimedia meeting, voicemail group, or you could have it pick up with the IVR. We'll click on extension and I'll set that to 1000. And then we'll press save and apply changes. Now we have the inbound route created. I could dial from my cell phone the phone number and my extension 1000 should ring. I'll dial my phone number. And we hear my extension 1000 is ringing. So that's it for this video. We got a couple phones up and running. We got extensions created. We have inbound and outbound routes created. And we also have a VoIP SIP trunk created and working. If you have any questions about this video, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. All right, thanks.